everybody, welcome back to the Game Informer Show, a weekly podcast covering the video game industry. Join us every Friday for a discussion of the latest gaming news, reviews, and exclusive reveals alongside Game Informer staff and special guests from around the industry. I'm one of your hosts today, Alex Van Aken. Today, I'm joined by Wesley LeBlanc. How you doing, Wes?
I'm doing great. My daughter said her first words this morning. It was... Jeff Keighley, where the hell is Final Fantasy 13 on PS5?
Okay, dude. You can't weaponize that.
I can't believe you would start this podcast.
I was so excited
using
for you.
Your child as a bit.
No, she's still doing
that.
She's still doing dadas and babas and mamas.
Those aren't words.
Final Fantasy 13 on PS5 yet. But
We're working our way there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good parenting right there. Charles Hart, how you doing, Charles?
Hey ho, Kermit the Frog here. I didn't want to go to Jeff Keighley's presentation because my ex was there and she made it weird.
She make it weird,
she
Kermit.
Certainly did, yeah.
Did you know we're gonna I almost asked a question that I shouldn't ask. Introducing Eric Van Allen, rounding out the show.
I didn't know we were supposed to have incredibly unhinged bits for this opening.
Listen, if there was a Shaggy game, I could be in on this. If there's a Winnie the Pooh, I could be in on this.
Yeah. I don't have.
If there was a Goofy movie game, I could be in on this.
A Donald the Duck. If there, I could be the Donald to your Goofy. Yeah. Mostly
You can do a bit about how
sadly-
you weren't
sadly,
there
yeah.
because there's no Kingdom Hearts. You weren't invited.
exactly. I'm just concerned we're validating the French too much. I think we need to. 2025 was really the year of the French. Yeah.
I think I was uncomfortable, if being honest.
What?
Just
French
all the
people?
stripes and the red.
The French are
Wow.
becoming
It was a
too
lot.
powerful. They're upsetting the balance. It's like when the
Yeah.
Fire Nation took over in Avatar.
A lot of red stripes, red solids.
Yeah.
This ain't a pool table, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. This is our weekly podcast, as we said at the top. Just want to say real quick, the best way to support the show, if you're interested, is to get a Game Informer magazine subscription. Head over to gameinformer.com/subscription. I thought Eric was bending down to pick up a magazine to show off. On the video version, he picked up his cat
Even
instead,
better.
and that's even better. So, of course, you can listen to this on major podcast platforms. You're probably listening there already. If you're on YouTube, hello, welcome. If you're listening to audio, hey, we have a video version on YouTube, youtube.com/GameInformer. There you go. There's many options to enjoy this show. But it's a big week. Eric now has his magazine, by the way, for audio listeners. But we're going to be getting into the Game Awards. We're going to be starting off with the winners, sharing our takeaways from the show in general, before taking a quick break and getting into our favorite announcements and trailers from the night in terms of the future facing stuff. So, Eric, I know that you've kind of been kind of keeping a log of a lot of the stuff that you think is noteworthy, and I trust your judgment. I kind of have my own little list, but I think you've probably got it covered anyways. But take us away, lead us into the night, into this Game Awards roundup.
Into the biggest things of the Game Awards. I mean, the number one takeaway is that Jeff Keighley and Miss Piggy are an item now, confirmed. This is going to leave Kermit the Frog in shambles.
I can't believe that like the Muppets thing has gotten so far of like at first it was like he just really likes the Muppets and somehow got them to show up at the Game Awards. I don't know if he's got a friend that works there, but whatever. Now it's escalated to him having like self-insert fan fiction where Miss Piggy's obsessed with him. It's so I saw someone say that like the correct version of that bit is that Jeff is obsessed with Miss Piggy and she wants nothing to do with him. That would have been a great funny bit. The fact that Miss Piggy's like, we went to Bora Bora, but it wasn't Bora Boring, is like,
that was crazy.
Can I say I've never done a Miss Piggy impression before? I kind of scared myself.
That was an all right one. That was a pretty good one. Yeah.
Him and that puppet were intimate, I think.
Yeah. It was weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this as kindly as I
Muppet,
can.
sorry.
I think
Thank you.
the writing for some of the bits this year were not great because the best Muppet thing happened when Jeff Keighley was not on screen for it. Like the Rolf song was really good. Like it was a little bit like, oh, we all love the Game Awards, don't we? But it was fun and it was goofy and it was like what you would kind of expect from a Muppet thing.
Miss
yeah.
Piggy said Discord.
Yeah,
So she's
she did.
aware. She
Miss Piggy said discourse and logged on the blue sky.
Rolf said Tomodachi life, which I like to fondly
Yeah.
reflect on, is that Rolf knows what
Yeah.
Tomodachi life is. I don't know. As far as actual takeaways from the Game Awards, I mean, I feel like this year was maybe the most subdued Game Awards we've ever had because there was a lot of, I don't know, like frustration going into it, the same frustrations I think we have every year with the Game Awards, which is, what is this representative of? What do we consider as valuable from this? What is the Game Awards doing for us as an industry? Like, are things going to be addressed? Obviously there was all the stuff with the future class and all that,
Yeah.
and also kind of like a weird resignation going in of people already being frustrated with the idea that Clair Obscur is going to probably win a lot of awards, which it then went on to do. But I felt like as the night went on, even if the Game Awards were probably pretty mild this year, it was a pretty good show, like good trailers. And I liked the speeches that were given, and I liked that time was given. I think there was a genuine, there was the moment when the composers were up on stage and one of them walked away and the other one went up to the mic as the playoff music was starting and they brought the music back down so they could talk. And I was like, that's great. That's fantastic. So in that respect, I think it was a good show. I think it was kind of what we all expected it to be, and so it just didn't surprise anyone. And it was like Claire came in, sweat the whole thing. Everybody like clapped and cheered and all that. There were some cool trailers, some surprises, some we saw coming or got rumored, some we didn't, really see coming. And we all went home after 3 godforsaken hours. I don't know why it's
Yeah.
3 hours long, man. That's the big one. I really wish it was
Charles.
like an hour shorter.
I'm curious, we've kind of heard Eric's take on it. What's your takeaway from the show?
I think I liked it, but I couldn't tell you why. I do think it is interesting how Clair Obscur just kind of swept every category. I was going to quiz you guys, quick little I oughta know. I oughta know. What's the one category it did not win?
Best
audio
family
design.
game.
Wes is correct. It's audio design.
And I'm glad because I was worried it was going to just because it's Claire, but in no world should Claire have gotten that. And I'm glad it didn't.
Anyways, yeah.
That went to Battlefield 6, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Wes, what about you?
Oh, Charles, were you done?
I was
kinda
just gonna
cut you
say,
off
like,
with the audio
outside of
design.
the Claire of it all, like, it's nice to. I've been kind of. We were talking before the show, being like, Clair Obscur, a good game that we're kind of sick of everyone talking about all the time. Like, it's good and we get it, and I think just being in the game space when the community's talking about one game for a while, we get kind of like tired of it. But it is nice to be like, you know what? These are real people that are getting these awards. And of all the ways to see one game win award after award after award, it is nice to be like, oh, that guy wrote the music for Clair Obscur. Like a few years ago, he was just a SoundCloud composer.
Yeah.
Like he had never composed for a game before. And if you were like, hey, we want to hire you on this game, in a few years, Lenny Kravitz is going to hand you a game award for best score in music. Like that's absurd. And it's cool to see people achieve stuff like that. And it kind of brought me back around, I guess, on just the spirit of the thing.
That's fair. I feel like I was with you on like going into it. I was like, okay, well, this is gonna be a Claire sweep. And as somebody who doesn't necessarily, Claire wasn't on my. I enjoyed other games more. Not that I didn't enjoy it, I just didn't finish it. And going into it, I think I was a bit like, I wish that there was more competition this year in terms of like broad sweeping, like, oh, it's one of those years where it's like, is it going to be Tears of the Kingdom or Baldur's Gate 3 or, it is cool though that
God of War, yeah.
Yeah, it is cool that like several indies were up for like Hades 2, Silk Song, and but I think we all knew kind of going in that, oh, this is going to be a sweep. And it does make it a little more, boring if you're just like, if you don't care about the people, right? And that's not what I'm saying. I do care about the developers. I'm happy for them. But I think
there's no drama.
Yeah, there's no drama.
We're not
right.
surprised.
Unless you're like really rooting for that team and like, this is my ride or die, then it's like, oh, it's not that dynamic. But I think it was cool. I enjoyed seeing how many of them got to get up there and give a speech and yeah, so that was cool. To also the fact that they flew their whole team out there was very sweet, and it was cool to see that representation in the crowd. But Wes, I think I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, yeah. Kind of like what Charles mentioned, like I was someone who really enjoyed Clair Obscur when it launched, and I kind of got jaded just because of all the hyperbole around it. I actually watched someone play like the final hour before the Game Awards last night, and it kind of reinvigorated my love. And then while they were winning, I was like shocked by some of the. I knew Clair was going to sweep, but it was still kind of crazy to see like Hades and Death Stranding and like these other amazing games. Like they just really had no shot. Like Clair was the clear winner of the night. And like post show, Charles, you posted on Blue Sky. Clair Obscur has the most Game Award wins at a single show ever. And that record was previously held by The Last of Us Part 2. And I think it's really cool that the now record holder is Clair Obscur, which they revealed in a recent interview like yesterday, I think, that the game cost $10 million, which is probably how much they spent on Ellie's model in The Last of Us Part 2. And so I think it's really cool to see a game like Clair not only like do really well, but also take a record from, something like The Last of Us Part 2, a great game, but like Sony's tentpole franchise, $500 million budget game type situation. It was cool. It's cool to see. I mean, there's a lot of big names on these lists. I would have, Hades 2 and Silk Song and stuff, great games, but like Donkey Kong Bonanza got like shut out. That's a Nintendo first party game. Death Stranding 2, Kojima. That's, Jeff's best friend. Like it's, I'm not like happy these games lost, but it is kind of cool to see a smaller game punch above their weight and come out as like the winner of the class, which I think is really cool. Yeah, as far as the show goes, I've kind of put aside this as like an award show. Like it is an award show, but I also treat it as like it's a lot of work for us here at GI. It's 3 hours of covering. Yeah. And so like, I was excited by a lot of the announcements. Like, to be honest, there was a lot of that leaked, which is kind of how it goes, but there were still some big surprises for me. The cadence of the awards was poor again. Like, I remember there was one point near the beginning and I was like, it's been like 40 minutes since the last award, but I'm kind of over even trying to affect change in that regard, because like, it's just not going to happen. It just like, it won't.
I'm kind of sort of looking at other shows.
Yes.
Like
DICE.
New York Game Awards, DICE.
Yeah. And I'm not saying we shouldn't hold Jeff's feet to the fire, but like at a certain point, he is just not concerned about the fire, and
it just like is clear. It's not the vision, right?
Yes. Yeah. And he's made it very clear. Ultimately, I think this was probably one of my favorite shows in recent years, as far as that goes. I think the pacing was nice, nicer. I mean, it's still super long, but a couple weird ads. Battlefield 6 for Red Sec. You get like the
Red Sec's ad.
The worst ad.
Weird.
It felt like I was like, "Are we in the Spike Awards again? Like, what is?"
I might have been head down in a write-up.
It's bad.
I muted it to.
You should try to pull it up on YouTube while we're talking.
It also has like really bad animation, like reminiscent of like 2010s YouTube, and then it was just a sex joke the entire time, and not even like a sex joke, just the word sex. Like, oh my god, it's so raunchy. We're saying, ugh. I couldn't believe it.
And then when Red Sex came up on screen and they crossed it out, I was like,
yeah,
what
they're like,
are
not
we
sex,
doing?
it's sec. Yeah. I couldn't believe that was their go for their big battle royale ad. Like, truly terrible.
This looks like was it the Jib Jab or whatever from, like that's what it reminds me of. The like
it looks like if
like
a student project tried to like emulate South Park.
Dude, Newgrounds is so back.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I was shocked.
And then I think we went right into whatever game was shown next also had a similar raunchy vibe. I think it was that Toxic Commando, maybe John Carpenter's
Yeah,
game. Which, to
probably.
be fair, that's the vibe of that game. But I was just like, "What is happening? Where are we in junior high again? This is crazy." Yeah, that was my low point of the night. Red Sex.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think there were a lot of ads like that I just tuned out. We are also all of us, I think, this year juggling writing.
Yeah.
And so I would kind of peek my head. I had like, a quarter of the screen showing the stream at all times, even if I was, writing. And I just remember there were a lot of ads where I was like, oh, okay, I can just check out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want
a lot of gotcha games that former editor Blake Hester I know is like obsessed with and loves.
Oh,
like,
speaking of Blake
Umbrella,
Hester,
all those.
Speaking of Blake Hester, look what arrived in my mail yesterday.
Oh, yo,
The
let's go.
Was it the
oral
Grasshopper?
History of Guitar Hero, Rock
Guitar
Band, and the
Hero.
music
Mine should be
game
coming
Boom.
soon.
Yeah.
By
mine's taking a
one
while.
Blake Hester. Also, look at this book. They've got the Guitar Hero style tabs to mark
Yeah.
the individual parts of the book.
Oh,
And they
That is
actually
so
are actually
sick.
like die cut. So that it's so cool.
that's awesome.
Shout out Blake.
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
shout
shout
out
out
Blake.
Blake.
So proud of him for putting this book out through Read Only Memory. I know it was a beast to come together, and I can't wait to dive in. I haven't had time to dive in. I literally came in yesterday evening, and then we worked all night. But
It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
shout
It's
out,
thick. Good Lord.
go pick up a copy. The
What-
Oral History of Guitar Hero, Rock Band, and the music video game Boom.
One quick thing I do want to say about Claire winning is that I think of maybe all the Game of the Year winners that I can think of stretching back. It's not only nice that, like Wes said, it was this team, this studio kind of representing maybe a broader shift in games, alongside stuff like Larian winning 2 years ago. But also like the aesthetic of Claire, the sound of Claire, the look and music of Claire felt really like fun to see over and over again. Like, this was not just a bunch of people walking up in suits and being like, well, thank you very much, we want to thank the team back home. It was like a bunch of really earnest, eager people dressed up in their like super like French outfits and starting the show, what kind of almost like forecasted the whole wind, having the performance and the gamage coming down. And it's just like, it's a fun game to see win over and over again, and to see up on the stage like that and elicited in just kind of like, I had a bell curve where I was like, oh, Claire's really going to win all these. And I was like, oh, it's getting kind of cool that like, yes, win all of them. That's awesome. And like all of them, always saying like, for those who come after, tomorrow comes, like all that kind of stuff. And I was like, yes, yeah. I don't know. It's like a hopeful, fun win. Like it's not like, oh, the corporation is walking up to get another award for the millions and millions it spent on gaming. I was like, oh, this scrappy team like really got it done. That's a narrative I can get behind.
And it was
I think
cool
it was
that they
the-
brought the whole team, because every time they won an award, the person that should be holding that award was up there. It wasn't just like the director every time and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was really cool. And Jennifer English's speech, really
my
good.
gosh.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
And Ben Starr, he's such a gentleman. He deserves an award. He's fantastic. And he has been, he does not get an award every year because his coworkers or something like that win it. And he's so nice and kind about it. And shout out Jennifer English and Ben Starr.
Well, cool. Any other takeaways, guys, before we kind of move into the more trailer focused topic?
Yeah. Eric, you mentioned they started the show with the Expedition 33 musical thing. Was that kind of like odd though? It was cool, but like kind of gave up the ghost a bit. I was like,
felt
oh,
like
okay.
it set the like when it started. I definitely in my mind thought, oh, Claire's definitely going to win it all tonight, isn't it? Like that's.
I thought it was going to be a montage of all the games, and then it was just Claire, and I was
Just
like,
Claire Obscur.
okay.
And it's
I see-
not the
yeah.
first time they've done something like that, and especially with Clair Obscur, it was like, okay, well, they've got an incredible soundtrack, like a really well done soundtrack,
Yeah.
totally deserve the win. And they get to show it off, and it's going to sound really good in a live orchestral performance and all that. But it did feel like it set the tone a little bit.
Yeah. Little spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I just wanted to real quick, just a fun fact about the awards. Just again, while I'm
Please,
looking at
yeah.
them. So Clair Obscur got 9. The Last of Us Part 2 had 7. They mostly overlap. Interestingly, the two that put Clair Obscur over the top is indie game and debut indie game. So that, because it got both those two, otherwise they would have theoretically been tied if this wasn't an indie game. But Clair Obscur got best music, but Last of Us Part 2 got best audio design and innovation and accessibility.
Oh,
Which is interesting.
That's fair.
As
Yeah,
opposed
it
to
did. I remember it did have a lot of options.
Pretty incredible. Yeah.
yeah,
And the audio design makes sense too. Last of Us is
yeah,
sound.
very
I'm
good.
surprised Last of Us didn't take soundtrack that year. Did it not?
Well, we talked. This is one of the quiz questions on
Right,
the.
and I was on it,
the
which is
GI
why I'm
to
like,
know.
what?
There's never been a. Oh, this is the first year that a game has won Game of the Year and Best Score / Music. It's never happened before. It's always been a different
Really?
game.
Who won in Last of Us this year?
I'll give you multiple
2020?
choice.
Okay,
Doom
I'll stop looking it
Eternal,
up.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Final Fantasy VII Remake, or Hades.
It's remake. I think remake
yeah.
won it. Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
That's fair.
Hmm.
That's fair.
Those
Especially
came out
over
the
Last
same
of Us.
year.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
2020.
And Ghost of Tsushima came out that year too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it did. Yeah. Not for music. Anyways, I just thought that was interesting.
I do want to say I'm sad that as much as I get why, if it takes indie best indie, it's going to take best debut indie. I do wish other games like Blueprints or Peak or, I don't remember those are the two that I really was behind, would have gotten some flowers.
I would have.
And I guess you could
loved-
say their flowers were being nominated.
There was Despelotto and Dispatch were the other choices.
I would have loved to have
Actually,
seen
Peak
a
wasn't
Blueprints
even
winner.
nominated.
Peak was in
Blueprints,
best
Claire, Despelotto, and
multiplayer.
Dispatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Arc Raiders? Did Arc Raiders take that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was Mila Jovovich, who
I do kind of
yes.
wish they had
multiplayer.
maybe they do and this doesn't make sense. It's kind of against the spirit of it, but it'd be cool if they were like, Clair Obscur, you get the Runaway Award. You get the award where you basically win everything, and then we just see what everyone else gets. I just think it'd be more interesting if it was more varied, but I don't know. It's also if you do a good job, you should get all the trophies. So that's fine.
Yeah.
But I do think it'd be interesting to see we didn't, as an outlet, we voted. We're among the voting jury. We did vote Clair Obscur for a number of categories, but some of them we gave to other games to be
Let's spread the
Clair
wealth a
Obscur is
little.
not necessarily the best in all of them. It just is a good game. I think we put Erika Ishii for best performance for Ghost of Yote. I think we put Ghost of Yote
had
for maybe something else.
Blueprints as best debut, didn't we? Or
I think so.
I probably fought a little bit for that one because I'm a Blueprints sicko, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blueprints was my number 2 game. Spoilers for upcoming stuff. But yeah.
That's the other weird part is that this is, I think, the third outlet I've participated in voting for the TGAs with over the course of my career, and you always end up, because we are already a group of people that are coming to one decision, and then we all submit a vote, which is then part of another group of people that are coming to a decision, and they're pretty transparent about how all this stuff works. It's all online, and actually I think Post Games did a whole episode recently about this, about how the nitty gritty of how the Game Awards breaks down, how it's structured, how people vote and stuff like that. So I'd recommend you go seek that out if you want really good details. But I think all of it is also on the Game Awards site as well, what the voting body is and how the votes get broken down and all that. And it's, I guess when you look at it that way, of what is just going to be the common denominator, it's well, a game like Clair Obscur did come in and basically upend the industry to the point that we haven't stopped talking about it for 6 months at this point. I joked last night that Clair Obscur is one of my 3 favorite games of the year, full stop. And then talking discoursing extensively in the wake of Clair Obscur has been one of my 3 least favorite topics of discussion this entire year. Because everybody is it's constantly stacking levels of it's the greatest thing ever, it changed the game forever, it's the worst thing ever, it changed the game forever in a bad way, it's back and back and back and back. And I was last night I was just oh, what a good game. That's fun. Great. Good year.
My strategy is if I care about a game, I just mute all the words related to it on social media.
That's so smart.
Just poisoned me. I went in to unmute Clair Obscur because I also muted it for spoilers because I finally finished it. I was like, oh, I muted every word related to The Last of Us, I guess, when season 2 was coming out, because that's the most
smart.
insufferable discourse to me.
Yes.
But I was like, man, I
God.
hope no one was trying to tell me about a person named Abby, because I just had Abby muted and I didn't see anything mentioning that. But yeah, that's my suggestion. If you really like a game, just mute it.
Everyone, you can finally
have your own opinions and keep them sacred.
You can finally unmute the nation of France. You can do it.
No, I don't know about that.
Unmute baguette. Unmute mime.
Yeah.
As GI's resident French person, last night was a big win for us. You know, we have a lot of we have a chip on our shoulder. People make fun of us for surrendering a lot, but we did it last night.
That's
Y'all
true,
forget
you didn't.
We know. We all know history, Wes. We don't need to brag about it. We all know. You know?
We got the guillotine and we got Expedition 33.
That's
Let
it.
us have
Yeah.
this.
That's it. That's smart. I like that.
And stinky cheese.
Do you
And
guys call it
Sticky
the
cheese.
Nintendo Yes?
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick ad break, and then we'll be right back to talk about our favorite trailers of the night. And we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. Guys, let's dive into our favorite announcements of the night. You know, the more forward-facing part of the show where Jeff Keighley and team get a bunch of trailers, show them off, and everybody reacts. I'll start. I think one of the games that really kind of, it was a big surprise. You know, I think we all have like, you know, we hear things, we kind of expect things. In some cases, we've pre-written news because we've gotten briefed on it. But one of the surprises for me, at least, I know there were some rumblings, I guess, prior, but I hadn't heard them, was I almost said Fate of the Chicken Foot. Fate of the Old Republic.
Fate
Star
of the
Wars.
Chicken Foot.
Yeah, Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic. And, you know, it was just a cinematic trailer, but Casey Hudson is back. Of course,
Yeah.
Casey Hudson, prominently known for his work in directing KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, as well as the Mass Effect trilogy. Has kind of had a lot of, it's kind of bounced around in recent years and, you know, following various studio closures and that sort of thing. And sounds like he's been picked up for this. But I would love to hear y'all's reaction to seeing this.
As a Mass Effect super fan, last night was really weird because it felt like we're seeing, I already kind of felt like this in previous years of here are companies that in the wake of what Electronic Arts has done with BioWare in the last decade, let's say at this point, a lot of, you know, developers have left, a lot of talent has left, and a lot of studios have sprung up in the wake of all those layoffs and departures. That are trying to rekindle it, and they should try to rekindle it because, like, Golden Age, there's arguably multiple Golden Ages of BioWare, and people want games like that. I think that is just de facto. I was happy that two different games, both it was Exodus. I always want to call it something else. It's Exodus and Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic popped up as here are two Mass Effect successors. Here are two games that are really trying to capture the vibes of that, or even just the vibes of BioWare of that, like, Xbox to Xbox 360 era that so many people like cherish now and feels like whimsically nostalgic at this point. And I'm happy for it. And also, I don't know, Star Wars games can be very hit or miss for me. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but if any of them are really going to hit, I will always remember I was on a plane traveling, I think for the holidays, maybe at some point a couple of years ago, but it was the year that KOTOR got revealed, and I was sitting behind a group of dudes who, you know, a group of just probably college age dudes who I would not expect to be, maybe play some video games, but not be deeply into them, not like playing the super niche stuff. And they were all
They were
talking
chads,
about
you're saying.
a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
stereotypical jocks, just being frank. And I am typecasting and exposing
Getting
my own
beer
bias.
drunk on the plane,
I'm exposing my
Top
own
Gun Maverick.
biases to be like
It's
they
fine.
were they were
Yeah.
excited about KOTOR. They were talking about, did you see the Knights of the Old Republic? Do you remember that game? They're making another one. And I was like, dang, these games
Poor guys.
have reach. Yeah, they're happy now. They're happy now.
That was right before they took Eric to the plane bathroom and gave him a wedgie.
Yes. Yeah. Look, we didn't need to talk about that. That's for me and my therapist.
I thought I smelled a band, kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm happy. I think this is going to be a pretty big one to watch in the coming years, because that seems like a lot of things teed up for success, and I'm
Emphasis
pretty
on
happy about
years
it.
too. That
Yeah.
game, I haven't read our story on it because it was in the midst of everything, but Casey Hudson started that studio in July, so like that game is probably
Not
gonna
close.
come out when Star Wars Eclipse comes out.
2031.
I still think it probably arrives before Mass Effect 5 is the
Yeah.
thing.
if
But
that ever
if-
arrives.
Yeah.
A big if.
But yeah, looks good.
But yeah.
Okay, can I ask is this a dumb question? Are we, and I'm sorry if I'm forgetting, it's early in the morning. Are we getting this and Knights of the Old Republic remake or whatever?
I
KOTOR.
think so. They're different studios, different projects.
Yeah, that's what I
guess
thought.
answer your
Okay.
question.
KOTOR is also like
And I
in
guess
limbo right now.
the KOTOR one is a remake, right? It's not a a proper follow up or anything. So I guess
Yeah.
there's room for both. But I was like, huh, that's interesting to have kind of both of those in play.
Now I feel like Aspire is making the Knights of the Old Republic remake. I feel like they've been kind of a hot mess.
They
I
were
think that
delayed.
got. I'm checking that right now. I think that got
Okay.
shuffled. Because I think it's under
Aspire will be replaced
Saber.
by Saber in
Yeah.
2022.
Which is wild
Okay.
because Saber has so much. They're doing the Turok revival, Jurassic Park Survival, which I'm surprised we didn't see last night. Knights of the Old Republic. I know Saber's huge and they have studios all over the world, but like that's a lot of stuff.
GameFile, Steven Tizzilo's GameFile, most recently got info that the KOTOR remake is in development at Madhead Games, which worked on the Hellraiser revival project and Saber. So that's kind of where it's at right now.
Okay.
Hellraiser isn't even out, right? That's like upcoming.
Hellraiser revival? I don't know. I'm not a Hellraiser guy. I just wouldn't open the box personally.
But yeah, they're different, I guess, is the moral of the
Yeah,
story.
that one's not
Yeah,
out. That's a
yeah.
2026 game. So yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say that like I'm extremely excited as someone who I don't know how I first even played Knights of the Old Republic, because I was just too young for it when it came out, and then kept like trying to play it on modern consoles. I remember buying it on Steam in like 2015 or something, but my computer couldn't run it, and I just had like a laptop and I couldn't figure it out. And I eventually finally like started to play through in earnest like 3 or 4 years ago, but it's always been like a really exciting game and concept to me, and crazy that it's often cited as like the best Star Wars game of all time. It's on a lot of like best RPGs of all time lists. Like it's a game that people really love that just like got kind of pushed to the wayside. And then I'm kind of surprised that they're doing a new entry, given like Disney kind of upending the canon of, you know, the Old Republic. I think that was one of the things, is like none of this is, the Old Republic doesn't exist anymore. So I don't know what like the continuity is going to be, if they even care about it. Maybe they don't care about it. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be a side thing, but
I think Star Wars isn't a throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks
that's fair.
era.
I'm just excited. I never would have guessed that this would be around. Also, I didn't know it was the same director as Mass Effect, which is wild. I don't know. Never put those pieces together.
I'm also really excited. Are you guys cool if I move on to another game?
Absolutely.
I'm done. Yeah.
Star Wars Galactic Racer. It was just a cinematic.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
But I love pod racing. It's one of my hobbies, you know.
X
I'm
Criterion devs too, like X Need for
Oh
Speed.
yeah,
Yeah.
X Need for Speed people.
So like I don't think this is just going to be like a licensed quick hit. I think this is going to be like a full scale racing game where you
Yeah, and if the tone of the
impoverished.
cinematic trailer, you know, is to be believed, it's a little more gritty, maybe. I don't know. It's like very.
Sebulba.
What did you just say?
I said gritty Sebulba. You know, Sebulba, the main villain in the pod racing sequence in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom
Yes.
Menace. Him,
Yeah.
but grit, like him.
I don't
Oh,
like
I
finding
was
out
picturing
bad stuff he
Sebulba
did.
hitting the gritty, and that was. Can we make Sebulba hit the gritty
Dude,
in the new
I
Star
don't
Wars
like
game?
the
If
combination
Sebulba
of
comes
gritty.
to Fortnite,
Oh,
that'll
God.
be great.
Are
You
you,
know, he
do you
might-
dislike gritty because you're thinking of the tactile nature of the word
Yes.
gritty? So would you prefer smooth Sebulba? Would that be more palatable for you?
Nah, you can't.
No,
you can't smooth
no,
out. So you can't
because
iron out those
Sebulba
wrinkles.
sounds like what is the stuff in your nose, your pores?
Oil?
Sebum?
Excuse me?
Septum.
No, sebum.
Is that's in the nose? Or
It's sebaceous filament. Yeah, sebum is
Oh,
the
I
skin's
hate that.
natural waxy oil produced by the sebaceous glands. So I just think of gritty nose sebum.
That's honestly the correct
Hey.
vibe for Sebulba.
Hey,
That
Alex,
is
probably
the
a-
kind of aura he emits.
Alex, why do you have
probably got
that
some, like-
information loaded into your
because I
mental
take care of
RAM?
my face. I do skincare. All right, and I
Yeah.
got a deal. I have an oily nose. Okay, y'all.
So when you're
Okay?
putting the mask on, you're like, man, this is
Exclusive
really
scoop.
going to hit the sebaceous
exclusive
glands.
Game Informer announces Alex has an oily nose that he has to take
got
care
so
of.
much sebum in my nose.
Sebum.
I'm just subumming it right now.
So gritty Sebulba, I do not like that.
Okay.
And I'm sure there are listeners out there who agree with me about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, Galactic Racer looks cool. I mean, it's just a cinematic trailer. We don't know what it actually looks like, but you know, I color me excited. I think
Sebaceous.
Color me sebaceous.
Bulba. Another one of mine. Sorry, I'm taking the reins here. I'll pass it off after this one. I do want to talk about probably my favorite game of the show out of announcements. It might be. I'm setting aside Larian because it's just a cinematic trailer. I'm Orbitals, which is a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive coming in 2026. It is I guess you could kind of liken it to like Hazelight Productions, and their, you know, at this point signature, you know, split screen experiences, such as A Way Out and It Takes Two and Split Fiction. Orbitals is being developed by a studio called Shape Farm that's based in Tokyo, and it is a anime style or an approach to that kind of genre in like an anime aesthetic, and they've partnered up. I know it's being developed in Unreal Engine 5, which I do have some worries about with that in the Switch. I'm curious how that'll play out, but yeah, it's this really gorgeous you know, animation style. They're partnering with Studio Mascot, who worked on Blue Lock, and I was reincarnated as Seventh Prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability.
Thank you for
I was
reading
wondering if
the.
you were reading my story because I felt
I was.
I had a good chuckle putting that.
That was so
there.
funny.
It's got
And
very
the fact that it's also the
90s.
first one.
It's got super 90s like Gainax vibes to it.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
I want to say, yeah, Alex said anime aesthetic, and I wanted to clarify. It's like a '90s retro anime. It
reminds
kind
me
of
of
like a
like
texture
almost like
to
a-
It's got some Ranma to it. It's got like some oh my gosh, I can't think of it. It's a magical girl anime from that era. But yeah, it's very like early 90s.
Sailor Moon.
No,
Yeah,
no.
and
like,
it's
like a
all
little
set
bit
in
more
like this
chibi style, but-
industrial like space, like you're there in space, right? It's called Orbital, but it almost reminds me of like Robotech or something, like a lot of like the big
yeah,
like space structures and ships they're in.
might have been Inuyasha I was thinking of, which is not a magical girl anime, but yeah.
Inuyasha, I could see that with the characters. Yeah,
Yeah. So
or even like
the art style of it, yeah.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I really want to play it. I'm hoping that maybe we'll get a chance to preview the game sometime soon. Who knows? But it's being published by Kepler Interactive, and it really just that was one of those games. I was in the middle of writing another story, and I was just like, oh whoa, I've got to bookmark that to come back to in the morning to check out and watch the trailer all the way. But yeah, it looks great. I cannot wait for that. And that one's called Orbitals. I'll pass it to you, Charles. Any picks?
Yeah, there's a little game called Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. That's
Let's go.
Ooh, yeah.
probably just my most anticipated game period right now. If you've never heard me on a podcast before, I love Lego games. My first video game was Lego Star Wars. I don't know what game I have the most hours in. It's probably the original Lego Star Wars, but Lego Batman 2 is up there. It has like a free roam Gotham City that me and my brother would just like. We weren't even doing like completionist stuff. We would just play tag in Lego Batman, and I would always pick the Flash, and it was stupid.
Yeah, it's just a playground.
Yeah, and like just to put even more perspective, I started watching E3 coverage as a kid because Lego Batman 3 was coming out, and I wanted to find out if Green Lantern was going to be able to like shoot projectiles in the Lego games, because in Lego Batman 2 he's like really lame. All he does is fly unless you're like in a level and you can solve Green Lantern puzzles. But it's like I wanted to be able to do fun stuff with him outside of the context of a level.
Yeah.
I wanted to shoot my brother with Green Lantern lasers. Anyways, this game doesn't have Green Lantern, but it does look really good. It's like, you know, combination of, it's not like one adaptation. They're just kind of like mashing a lot of Batman together to tell
supercut.
one. Yeah, a super cut. That's a great word for it. Of just all of the Batman's greatest hits. And then this trailer showed off like a bunch of more characters that are going to be in it. So now we know that like we got Catwoman, we got Mr. Freeze, we got the Penguin, we got Batgirl, we've got Poison Ivy, I think, appears at one point. Or at least there's a giant Venus flytrap, so I assume that's Poison Ivy. There's like one shot I missed last night of Nightwing. I like Nightwing.
Bane and somebody doing a Tom
Bane?
Hardy-esque Bane voice.
Yes.
That'll be good.
I love
love
that they've leaned
and
into
Wes,
that.
Wes and I were talking last night because it's like it's most like I maybe they'll pull from comics or something, I don't know, but they're generally pulling from like film inspirations and some like video game inspirations. But we were like, what is the context that Batgirl and Firefly would show up? And Wes was
because that
noting
was
that
the canceled Batgirl movie was supposed to be Batgirl versus Firefly. I can't imagine, given all the drama
crazy.
around that release, that this is in the game.
yeah.
But like, I don't know. It is odd. It is, maybe it's just a wink to people, to like DC fans, like, hey, we know.
There's no point where it's like you're not going to a section you're like, this is the section based on the Dark Knight. It's just like if you're paying attention you can pick stuff up. So I do wonder if like when they were developing the game the Batgirl movie was still coming out and they were just like, well, we designed this whole Batgirl Firefly encounter, like maybe it'll seem like the one original part. I don't know. They're also in other stuff, like Batgirl's in Batman and Robin, and then Firefly's in the Arkham games in various appearances.
They're also pulling from animated movies and stuff too. Like there's definitely
there you go.
Phantasm inspiration in there. I played this game at Gamescom, which I don't know if I ever spoke about it here, but it is just an Arkham game. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like it is a Lego Batman game with Arkham's everything. The
Which one is
full
that?
open Lego. Wait, Arkham.
No. Which
What are you asking?
which Lego Batman?
This one,
Like
like
this
Dark
one.
Knight.
The new one.
Oh,
Yeah.
this one. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It's like it's a Lego Batman game, but with Arkham mechanics. And I mean that in terms of flying around Gotham, calling your Batmobile, calling your Bat Cycle, fighting it. Like, and the developers aren't trying to hide it. Like they love
That's
Arkham.
cool.
They know people like Arkham. So like, this is highly anticipated. Like, yes, this is going to be. I played an hour and a half, and it is so good. And I think the story mission I played mixed Mask of the Phantasm, and then very smoothly went right into 1989 Batman in terms of creating Jack Nicholson's Joker. And at some point, that Joker transitions into a Heath Ledger style Joker, for example, because we've seen both. I'm the most curious thing about it is like, how do you juggle all that? How do you transition?
Yeah.
Because it's not like you said, Charles, it's not, you're now in the Batman and Robin mission. It is all like one coagulation, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they do that. But it's coming out we got a release date
May.
last night, right?
May
Yeah,
29th.
Yeah.
So sick.
It's
That's
also
awesome.
arriving amid all this Warner Brothers stuff happening on the periphery. And I mentioned that in my write-up, but it is, y'all were talking about how weird the Batgirl situation is around it. And it's also in a weird situation where people were joking, like, here's Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, theoretically still a Warner Brothers game. And yeah, it's in a weird limbo because of all that. And it might be the one game that is doing that, because I mean, NetherRealm's been pretty quiet, you know, Suicide Squad, Rocksteady, like that whole situation kind of fizzled out. And so this is like the one weird game that could get caught in the limbo as this big potential shift happens in the entertainment industry that would then affect Warner Brothers, or Warner Brothers games. So
I do think that based on how these things go, I don't know who's going to buy it. Warner Brothers, which of the big companies are going to do it. I think this will come out before that, because those usually take like months to go through. But I am curious of, like, you know, do we see a post launch update to like the opening credits where they change the Warner Bros logo or something? Like,
does this come to mobile devices via Netflix games?
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe
that's a pretty good seller.
All sorts of stuff there.
Yeah, Lego Party is on the Netflix app, I believe. So that already makes a pretty good fit there. So
is it
point
really?
to Netflix.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We gotta play that, because Eric came over to play Lego Party.
It's a good time.
When did we play that? Yeah, it was a month or two ago.
A little while ago. Yeah.
And I had brought down my laptop to the living room and hooked it up to the TV, and then had 4 controllers connected via Bluetooth.
Kind of
laptop.
a nightmarish setup for sure. Yeah. I will say Lego Party on my list of my favorite 10 games of this year.
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah,
I kind of regret not putting it on mine.
Yeah, no, it's a really, really good one. As somebody who has been a Mario Party sicko for about as long as I can remember, I was really happy with this, and I think it was the thing that this genre needed, was some good competition.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the best family game of the year, because that's Mario Kart World.
No, that's Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh, really?
Mario Kart's the best racing game of the year.
Not to move back into category talk real quick, but like Split Fiction and any Haze-like game being in best family game is still kind of crazy to me. Like, I get that it's a co-op game that you could play with family members, but when I hear family game, I assume parents and children. Like, that is just
what I play Out.
Yeah. Come here, Timmy. Let's play the game that's about divorce.
Yeah, so we're soft launching our divorce by showing little Timmy. It takes two. Also, the reason I got lost in that conversation when you were talking about the comparing Legacy of the Dark Knight to Arkham is, in my head I was daydreaming. I was like, we should bring out the team to Minnesota and take them to the giant Lego store at the Mall of America for a video. And then I came back to the conversation. That's why I was a little lost.
We should do Legos as a team building exercise. Absolutely.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Who's next? Who's got one?
I'll go next.
Okay.
So Remedy Entertainment revealed the sequel to Control, and it's called Control Resonant. It's a melee action RPG set in an open-ended, distinctly not open world. The director told me it is not open world. Manhattan. And you are playing as Jesse Faden's brother, Dylan, 7 years after Control. I'm not surprised Remedy is doing something bonkers with the sequel, but I'm still shocked that this is what Control 2 is. And I'm curious. I saw this game behind closed doors before the Game Awards, and you can read some of my interview with the director on in an upcoming magazine issue. I'm curious how you guys feel, because at first I kind of had a little bit of like shell shock when they revealed all this, because it's still very Control, but it's so different from Control. Control to me is Jesse. It is the gun. It is the house. And now it is not Jesse. It is not a gun. It's a melee weapon. It's an RPG with skill trees and stuff. And it's set in an open-ended Manhattan. So I'm curious. I guess I'm presuming you guys are all Control fans. How do you feel about this as the sequel to Control?
I am not a huge Control fan. The whole Remedy verse is one that I have tried in earnest to like get into, and for some reason it just like has never really clicked for me. And this was one that like the direction it went, I was like, oh, I didn't realize this would look so cool, because we just saw.
Yeah.
I think this is something that other people would have freaked out about more, but we all knew it was coming because Wes got pre-briefed on it. But like, super exciting that this is finally like seeing the light of day. But I was fully expecting to be like, oh, it'll be more Control, a game I played a lot of and then never finished because I didn't really connect with. And instead, because it was so different, like I'm kind of pulled back in. Is kind of my take.
I definitely had the moment of feeling, oh, it's not Jesse, and then I saw Dylan air juggling someone, and I was like, wait a minute, no, hold on, let him cook. Like they're onto something.
I was watching with a friend last night, and he was like, "Yo, this looks like Devil May Cry," and I was like, "Hold on, hold on, that could be."
You know where my brain went to? There was a couple scenes in this where I'm like, this looks like Infamous Second Son.
Ooh,
I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
Specifically when he, like, some of the air juggling stuff, some of the there's a scene where his arms are, they've got a gif of it on the Steam page that I'm looking at actually, and his arms are like lit up red, like orange, and he's just like, the animation and him flinging, it's like very anime, like where like there's these big like pauses in between the action, or like right when they hit, there's like a brief pause where
it's
like
got some like Monster Hunter crunch in it with like animation. Yeah.
But then the weapon has like Final Fantasy 15 vibes almost. I loved in the cutscene or in the cinematic. He's like walking up the stairs and you see he's holding two, and then he like lets go of one and it snaps into the other like a magnet, and then he like goes into a hammer stance and it starts just getting larger and then larger and then larger, and I was like, yeah, how big can the hammer get? And I like I look, I have two brain cells and I was clapping the whole time.
Yeah, it's that weapon is called the Apparent, which is the sole weapon he'll have, similar to Jesse's service weapon, which shapeshifted to what she needed. This is a melee weapon that will shape from like dual katana-like swords to a single sword to hammers, which is really cool. And also the trailer shows, I couldn't get confirmation. I asked the director if it was the same thing, but Jesse's like stabbing her brother in the oldest house with what appears to be this weapon. But this game takes place 7 years after Control. Jesse has disappeared, and so I guess slight spoilers for the end of Control. The Hiss are able to escape the oldest house, and that's why Manhattan goes Ari, and Arai, and it looks like Inception and No Way Home, and but still very Remedy, and crazy.
And this is getting a little bit too in the Remedy weeds, but where does Alan Wake 2 take place in terms of the timeline with Control? Is it happening at the same time? Is it happening after?
It's after Control.
It's after Control because I think they reference
Jesse
the events of Control.
becomes the director. Yeah.
Okay, I thought
part of Control. She becomes a director, and then some Alan Wake 2 stuff happens. No indication at all how this could connect to Alan Wake 2. I'm sure it will. Somebody in the preview I was in asked about
reveal.
They said this is definitely in the Remedyverse, obviously, but they didn't say anything more. I'm trying to look at my write-up if there's anything different. Again, distinctly not an open world game. They said it is an open-ended game. Side stories, melee action, RPG. They made sure to say it is not an action-adventure game, which, who knows what Remedy thinks what that means as a genre. Meaningful progression and real choices, distinctive builds. So, like, it is an RPG for sure. And I'm excited to see what Remedy does with that. Because I really love Remedy, but their ideas don't always hit. FBC, for example, was them kind of stepping out of their typical genre, and it didn't really turn out the way I think anyone expected. So I'm a little wary of this being an RPG. That's a big step, but it looks awesome. I mean, it comes out next year, so we'll see.
Yeah. I think another one, Wes, that we were talking about before the show recording was Coven of the Chickenfoot.
Yes, that is from Wildflower Interactive, which Bruce Straley, who co-created The Last of Us. Emphasis on co-created because that truly has been lost in the discussion of Last of Us, and it has been intentional. Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann, like even the credits of the remakes and stuff, like don't really mention Straley. He co-created Last of Us. He was the game director on it. and you wouldn't know that these days. Even last night on stage, Jeff Keighley said, from one of the developers of The Last of Us, which, yes, he was a developer, but like,
So was Neil
dude, he
Druckmann,
directed
you know?
it. Yeah, he directed the dang thing. He co-created that universe. Anyway, I in my story, called it The Last of Us co-creator Bruce Straley because it does annoy me how much he's been erased from that game, and because he took a sabbatical and left Naughty Dog. But anyway, his new game is a witchy adventure called Coven of the Chicken Foot. It is kind of like a cel-shaded animation-esque Last Guardian type game. You're a witch who finally has the chance to like prove herself to the Coven. You're an old lady and you've waited all your life to do it, and now you have the chance. And you come across this oddball companion who's kind of like a big dog frog thing. And that companion is completely AI, and it can learn and adapts to your play style. All the kind of stuff that we heard discussed with Last Guardian, but it's been a decade, so I'm assuming the companion will be much more adept to what you do. And yeah, it's a cute trailer. You would not know this is a Bruce Straley game, I guess you could say, from looking at it, because all we've known of him for years is Uncharted and Last of Us. But I mean, the dude has talent, and he created this studio, and he handpicked the devs there. So like, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what this is. And it's their debut game, so really cool. It's no release date at all, and it's only in development for PC. So I suspect this is still a little early, and they only got founded in 2022. So it'll be a minute, but looks cool.
Yeah, it really, the art style really captured me. And yeah, the references to The Last Guardian, spot on. It looks really fun, and it looks like it is going to be one to pay attention to. But Eric, do you have one you want to shout out?
The one I never could have seen coming. Like, legitimately, we joked earlier about, sometimes we get pre-briefed, or you hear some rumors and stuff like that. This one, zero clue, zero idea was happening. Genuinely surprised. Ace Combat 8, baby. We're taking back the skies. We're getting in there. We got first person story segments. We got a crew around us, and we're getting back into the plane. Like, if you've seen, there's a fantastic TikTok by a game developer, Xavier Nelson Jr., that's about like before and after seeing Top Gun Maverick, where walking in, you're like, well, I don't know, this is a lot of glorification of really violent acts that can happen, and then walking out, like, we need 5th generation fighters, we gotta take to the skies, we gotta beat them. and like, yeah, I'm sorry, Ace Combat is genuinely, I sincerely mean this, one of the best series on the PlayStation 2. I love those games. Ace Combat 4, Ace Combat 5, Ace Combat 0, Ace Combat 7, by the way, on sale right now, $5 on Steam. Go play it if you have not played it. It's a good time right now to be an Ace Combat fan. We are so back. I love this series. If you hear me talking about this, you're like, Eric, it's a jet fighter game. What are you talking about? This is Metal Gear Solid jet fighters. This is intense, huge world building and big weird names, and then all of a sudden you're in a jet plane and the enemy has like a super bomber and you're having to fly around and take out different parts of it and all this kind of stuff. Or you have this moment where everything suddenly changes in the mission, you have to adapt on the fly. It's an ambush all of a sudden, and all these fighters are coming in on your mini map, and you've got to suddenly be like, we got to pivot, we got to turn, we got to take out these bogeys, we're surrounded. It's I love Ace Combat games, if you can't tell. Like, a good Ace Combat hits. And like, look, I like Microsoft Flight Sim. It's a fine game, but that's if you want to fly a plane. If you want to fight in a jet, you play Ace Combat.
Two things on this. You mentioned Xavier. Yeah. Strange Scaffolding. I didn't mention it earlier, but he's writing the pod racing game.
Yeah, he's writing on the pod racing game, which gives me high hopes for the vibes of that game for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. And after the reveal of Ace Combat last night, I was reading about the world of Ace Combat because I didn't understand the title. And I learned that it's in a completely fictional world, which is
the Strange Reel, I believe.
Yeah, very cool. There's like different nations and all this stuff. Because it looks so realistic that I assumed you're fighting like, real world countries and other enemies, but it's like, no, it's a whole like you said, Metal Gear Solid-esque fiction type thing going on.
There's a very deep lore to Ace Combat, the same way that Armored Core has an incredibly deep lore if you decide to start digging into it. Ace Combat has the same thing going on, and I forget, I'm being a bad fan now, I forget whether it was 4 or 5, has one of the most incredible story setups where I think you're playing as like prisoners who have been turned into Ace Combat pilots who are like taking to the skies, and they all have like really, it's a little bit Suicide Squad in a way that's really fun. Like it's not something you have to take a deep dive on. You got to watch a YouTube video essay to understand, but consistently it's a game where the more you pay attention to the story and what's going on, it's going to reward you by being like, oh, this is like some really cool texture to all these air battles that we're having right now. And then the actual design of the fights in Ace Combat are just always so surprising, so fun, so interesting. I'm so glad to see this game back. It's been a while since Ace Combat 7 came out, and genuinely like thrilled to see this series thriving again.
That rules.
I also real quick want to shout out Total War 40K, which is maybe not the most unexpected thing considering that we've had Total War Warhammer up through 3 at this point. Number one, looks really sick. I'm not a 40K tabletop person, but I do enjoy 40K games quite a bit, and I think they're already showing a lot of really great things.
The 40K world is just so fun to play in.
And already the idea of just taking like a Space Marine chapter, some orcs, fingers crossed, some Tau or some Tyranids or some Necrons, because I love the weird space factions in this game. And doing sort of the galactic conquest type stuff already sounds like a winning formula. The weird part is it's Dawn of War 4 is also on the way. And I also love the Dawn of War series. And I'm like, that feels like you're really kind of crossing the streams a little bit. I'm not going to complain, two cakes is still 2 cakes, but that's a lot of cake to eat in 1 year. So I don't know.
I feel like Warhammer fans eat every cake presented though.
And they cake buffet.
I texted it. Yeah. I texted a buddy of mine, Luis, he's freelance for Game Informer. He's spends all his money on everything Warhammer. Like he loves Warhammer. It's his thing. And he was saying something very cool about this game, which I didn't realize from the trailer, and I was writing, so I wasn't maybe paying attention. But you get to like wage wars on multiple planets simultaneously, which is really cool. Like he said, that's super exciting that you're gonna like switch between planets to like control different armies and stuff. And it looks really cool. And David Harbour revealed it at the Game Awards, which is kind of crazy.
Crazy timing too.
That guy's
if you want to use Google to your advantage.
Both at his peak and at his rock bottom, I feel like. Stranger Things season 5.
It was a real night for that when it came to some of the celebrity appearances, let's say.
I was like, wow. I was shocked he was out on stage.
I wonder if Henry Cavill was busy.
New Lily Allen album that's all about him.
But yeah, this was a good, I remember the 1 year I went to Summer Game Fest in person, there were like no celebrities and I was so mad. And now I feel like every time I see them, I'm like, man, I didn't get Lenny Kravitz when I was in that theater. Or like this year we got the whole cast of the Street Fighter movie. Just like a lot of big, JJ Abrams was there. A lot of big celebrity appearances this year.
I would have rather seen Gracie Abrams there doing a performance.
I mean, that would have been cool. What game do you want Gracie Abrams in, Alex?
Huh?
What game do you want her in? Why is she there?
Oh no, I just want her to do a soundtrack for a game.
No, I understand. I'm saying now make up a reason that she would be there.
5.
Let's say the next Life is Strange.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They had daughter produce the game. What was that? The second one, not Life is Strange 2, but it was like the first
True Colors
spin-off. No, the one before True Colors that did really well. It was a spin-off one though. They've had so many Life is Strange games.
Oh, tell me why?
No, God,
no,
let me just Google it.
Are you talking about? Sorry, I spaced out for a bit because I was looking at the list of games we have yet to mention.
Before the Storm.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
One of my favorite bands, Daughter, did the whole soundtrack for that. It'd be cool to see another artist do that. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, shout out to Daughters.
Shout out Daughters.
there was this one Daughter song where I listened to. I'd never listened to the band before, and it was like, Final Fantasy 13 on PS5 confirmed. I think those were the first words that Daughter said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
You actually, what's sad is you actually got me excited. I was like, wait,
So
did I
did
miss
I.
some news or something?
Yeah,
I was like,
Sorry,
hold on.
elaborate throwback.
Yeah.
That was good.
Just some other like quick hit ones that we didn't mention, but we just probably want to bring up. I mean, the Divinity trailer looked really good. We can't show it.
that.
So if you're watching the video version, I have placed an artist's rendering of the trailer to the side. Please enjoy it because we can't show a single frame of that trailer on
That
our
was
YouTube
like-
channel.
That might have been the single most gruesome trailer I've ever seen for a video game at a showcase like this.
Yeah,
that was gruesome.
I
It
saw,
was a lot.
Hayes Madsen at Inverse, he's written for us before too. He put on Blue Sky, he said, I knew it was a Larian game the second I saw two people having sex while a man burned alive above them. And I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's full of orgies and blood and
It was very Midsummer. It was like
Pus
Wicker Man
yes.
and Midsummer was the
and
vibe.
pus.
What I will say, don't say that word. We're really bad for words today that have bad mouthfeel.
gritty sebum.
Sebaceous pus. Guys, we should start a band called Sebaceous Pus.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I will say I'm excited they're going back to Divinity because Divinity has one of my favorite things in any fantasy world building, which is that elves in the world of Divinity can read people's memories by consuming their flesh. And
Yes.
that's super sick. Elves in every other fantasy world are all like highfalutin, like, we are the elves. We are here to discuss the terms of your plans. And like here, it's like the elves are like, we're eating flesh so we can read your
Cannibals.
memories. And I'm like, yes, dude. So that looks sick. Really looking forward to that. We also had Stupid Never Dies. I want to shout out because that was like pop punk warm bodies brawler, and that's fantastic. That's a great mashup
Yeah.
of words and ideas.
That one didn't do much for me. But
I
I'm willing
think-
to be proven wrong.
The reveal was too long. Like,
Yes.
it took too long to get to gameplay because I was like, "What is this?" It was like 2 minutes of warm bodies and then 10 seconds of the brawler Devil May Cry-esque action at the end.
They took too long just kind of showing the characters and doing them like singing and dancing and stuff. And I think once they got into the action, I was like, I'm sold. Somebody I know referred to it as, this looks like a new Hi-Fi Rush. Like this has like Hi-Fi Rush vibes, and I'm with them on that.
That's fair, yeah.
Anthos from Frictional Games, makers of Soma, also looks really good. I think Soma is insanely slept on as one of the better stories in gaming. It's a very, very good narrative. Highly recommend checking it out. So if Anthos can hit some of those same notes, gonna be very excited about that. And I don't know any
Order of the Sinking Star, Jonathan Blow's new game,
Yeah.
which is a sort of top-down puzzle game.
So I did
that
see.
is-
Let me pull it up again.
Mhm.
It's that game is apparently like a compilation of a bunch of other games that I didn't realize.
Yeah, so we have a really good preview. Marcus has a very in-depth preview he wrote. Jonathan Blow did not like C++, the coding language, so he started writing a new language in his own.
I forgot about
he
that,
called Jai. Started making a game to test Jai. Made various games, all puzzle games, because it's Jonathan Blow, and then decided, wait, I'm actually kind of cooking something here, and this is that game now. And it's a top-down game to explore 4 different biomes, and then in each biome you go into puzzles. Like it's a grid, and each grid is a different kind of puzzle, and they can be 3D puzzles, first person puzzles, 2D puzzles, isometric puzzles. Like there's over 1,000 puzzles in the game, and it's his biggest game by far, he says, according to
and they
Marcus's preview.
interconnect, right?
Yes, they're all.
There was a
they're all
line in the
connected
trailer
because-
where they kind of insinuated that when 2 puzzles would merge, so
Yes.
would like their rule set, like the rules of their
Yeah.
world would come
Yeah.
together.
It has I don't want to say Metroidvania, but Jonathan Blow says like once you learn the logic of some puzzles, you now have a better understanding of how to go tackle these puzzles. So it's like it's not mechanically a Metroidvania, but like the knowledge you're learning.
the knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. And
very Witness.
each
Which I love
puzzle
those
is
games.
like sometimes you play as like a rogue who has different rules attached with them. I think a rogue or a thief, they grab any object that's near them automatically. There's like a wizard. There's all kinds of different like archetypes that react differently with puzzles. I've
We're calling
never
these
played
Metroid
his
Brainias,
games.
aren't we?
We're
Are
not
we? Is
doing
that
that. No.
Yeah.
People
No.
you're not
Objection.
making that
People
concept
are.
up.
I'm not
Alex.
making that
You're
Yeah.
not making it up. I'm just saying
Yeah.
we're not doing it. Like you can't just say like Metroid Brainia. That like
I just
because
did.
it's like
You just did.
just because
You can
it's
say
like
it.
a homophone. Like you can't just do that.
It makes more sense for like Animal Well is like in
Yeah.
Metroidvania,
Yeah.
where it's like a real dense puzzle kind of. But that's like actually a Metroidvania as opposed to this.
I'm
which is
gonna
more just, like,
I'm gonna
puzzle.
crash out. This is like Metroidvania is already a bad term. It's already just not a useful term because most people use it to just refer to a Metroid style game in the first place because the Vania part is often the part that's left out. But man, like it's just a puzzle game. It's like I don't know. It's like The Witness is just like Myst. And like we've had games like this since the 90s. So we don't need a new genre for it.
The Witness
Or-
was far above my brain capacity back when it came out in 2015, and I'm already assuming this
You were
game
still
is-
developing your frontal lobe
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
point.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still developing today, and I don't think this game is for me. When you say like thousands of puzzles, I'm like immediately no, I don't got it. I don't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
games
yeah.
where I have to have a notebook by my side, and that's what he does is create games where you have to have a notebook. But this is going to be a game for the people that liked Witness. I can already tell it's going to be sicko mode.
I'm curious if this doesn't work for you. Does Professor Layton work for you? Because I find that that's like the puzzle game for people who don't like notebooks, because that's one where you just kind
never-
of get bite-sized puzzles that are like contained.
I haven't played Professor Layton, but I've always wanted to because that was like a lot of peak games on DS, right?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of like missed that. But I'd like to go back. I like puzzle games. I just like a little bit of puzzle or like a decent amount of puzzle. But once you're starting like even blueprints where people are like, you got to put 100 hours in to get like to get
Oh,
the juice out of that game.
don't know
I'm
about
like,
that,
I
but-
just don't have
I'd say
that.
about 30.
Yeah. I think my blueprints is maybe
do-
like 20 to
I could
30.
maybe do 30.
Yeah, and some of
maybe
that
do 30.
is, I think if you have somebody who can kind of who knows and can kind of give you like the hint towards, confirming or denying or being like, yeah,
It'd just be like, that looks
Keep it-
weird, doesn't it?
yeah,
You're
yeah,
correct. You're correct that
That-
this is weird. Keep looking around that.
Yeah.
I think those games are like, do not play them in isolation. Do not play them by yourself. Like even people who were playing Blueprints early access review and all that were talking to each other because you kind of have to do that because there's so much
Yeah.
to just uncover.
Mm.
I'm
you
sure
kind of
there's
come up with your own code language to talk about things without spoiling
That's probably
other
why
people.
I dropped out of. I have 12 hours in blueprints, but I just wasn't feeling
you gotta
compelled to
talk.
continue after that. Yeah.
you gotta
I
talk
played
to
it with
people.
with my fiance. I think that's like even if it's someone else that hasn't played it before, just having someone to bounce ideas off with is just. Anyways, I don't know if this game is anything like that.
Yeah,
But
Marcus has an
I'm-
extensive
I'm-
preview. Go check it out.
I want to play
Yeah.
it. I want to play it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give it a shot. Looks interesting to say the least.
Other quick hits, just real quick before we bounce. We did have Tomb Raider Catalyst was shown off, as well as Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, I believe is what it's called.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Mega Man Dual Override, which was, I think, maybe the biggest surprise of the night, that Mega Man's back. First Mega Man since 2018, I believe, for Mega Man 11.
Mhm.
And that's huge. Also, Pragmata got a release date, April 2026. Can't wait for
Release
that.
I'm
date
It's coming to
excited.
and
Switch too.
there's a demo
Switch
out
2.
today, and it's coming to Switch 2. Yeah.
I forgot to look and see
Which
what
the demo I think
is.
is what the
Yeah.
demo is what people have been playing at Summer Games Fest and
Sure. Gotcha.
Gamescom. Very good demo. If you've been reading about this game and you're like, I don't understand what people mean where you're solving
The
puzzles.
puzzles on the fly. Yeah.
The demo does a really good job of keying you into that, and it's a really cool game. I'm excited.
I legitimately am very excited for that game. I've been
Mhm.
enjoying it more and more the more I've played it. Capcom's like in their 360 era, and I love it.
Also, the Mega Man theories around that game, kind of interesting. They just announced a new Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
What are
Just
the
saying.
theories? Oh, around
Ooh.
Pragmata.
That's
Yeah, people think
secretly a Mega
Pragmata
Man
is like
game.
secretly a Mega Man game,
That's
and now
fun.
that you've announced, now they're bringing Mega Man back. I wonder, is that a tee up?
Bring back Phoenix Wright. Dang it.
Yeah, Ace Attorney. You kept
Ace
talking about
Attorney
Ace
return.
Combat. I'm like, Ace Attorney though.
Yo, Ace Attorney, Ace Combat would be kind of sick.
what does that even
Objection.
mean?
Committed
As
war
he said,
crimes.
Objection, missile lock. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think that's gonna do it for the show this week. Thank you everyone for listening. Don't forget, the best way to support us is to go get a Game Informer magazine subscription, gameinformer.com/subscribe. We are also on newsstands now, so you can go to your local Barnes and Noble, Books A Million. There's a couple others. I think we're in GameStops, but we are available internationally as well in some areas, and there are more coming. I think in January. So the first issue you can get is the Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. That is on current newsstand. Yeah, I'm excited. It's very cool. It's very, very cool. So go consider checking that out. If you do see us at a store, take a photo, tag us on social media. We might share it.
Wes just smelled the Game Informer so hard he died. That was crazy.
to
Don't forget, go follow us, youtube.com/Game Informer. Got a lot of great video coverage coming up. And stay tuned to the main website, gameinformer.com, for your daily news and reviews and all that fun stuff. Don't forget, follow Charles at ChuckDuck365, follow Eric at CMoosey, follow Wesley LeBlanc at Wesley. I am what I can't keep up, Wes. What's your
Blue Sky is just Wesley LeBlanc. Yeah.
Okay, just Wesley LeBlanc, Blue Sky.
Yeah.
You can follow me at It's Van Aken. That's gonna be it. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.